Hello everyone, welcome back to the workshop. My name is Nikolai, and here is the bench we made last episode. Now, the bench itself is pretty sturdy, doesn't move a whole lot. However, what good is it if we can't make armor with it? So I have an old cup here that I've been using for a while. In an earlier video I showed you how to make it. You can go look at that if you'd like. I also have a smaller one here. I have a smaller version of it, not as thick, so we can get a little bit more precision with that one. And I have this big old chunk of steel that I'm going to use to make little holes in, to make a nice, better, rounder section. I also have this very long piece of steel. Now, these two are self-explanatory. I'm going to bolt these down to the bench, and I'm going to have some doming surface, so that way I can make better armor by doming it this way instead of just doing it as how you saw in my shield boss video, where I just put it against the anvil and it jumped around everywhere. Now with this long piece here, I'm going to turn it into a T stake. I'm going to turn it into a T stake, and I'm doing that so I can get some nice long precision work here. And this big chunk here, I'm going to put it down onto the bench and then make some tiny holes here for much more smaller work like gauntlets and knuckles and that kinds of stuff. So we're going to start off first with our cups here. Now the cup I already made, and not too difficult to work with. I'm going to make a base for this, drill some holes in it, and then just simply bolt it down to the workbench. Now actually I already have a plate made. However, these holes are a bit small, so I'm going to open them up a little more by using this big drill bit here and taking a little more off of what's already there. So I'll do that, and then I'm going to weld these two on top of each other, so then we can bolt it down. It's going to be very secure. Now, as another thing I'm going to do is I'm thinking, because this thing is hollow, I feel like it's going to make a lot of noise. So, as an experiment, I plan to fill the bottom of this dome with sand. And I think what's going to happen is, because it's full of sand, it's not going to make as much of a ring, so your neighbors will be happier. And it's also going to be a little more weighty, and hopefully that'll make each strike with a hammer a little more efficient. Now this is just speculation. I don't really know all the physics and math behind it. It's more of just like a backyard idea, but I think it'll work. So let's first drill some bigger holes into this guy. There we are. It is currently 83 degrees, feels like 92, and there's 83% humidity. It is disgusting in here. Alright, since I welded a hole in the side of it, I'm just going to fill it up with sand and then top it. Sure, some sand will come out, but I think for the long run it'll be alright. Alright, I'm gonna weld it up and I'll see how it turns out. Now it's still incredibly hot. That's okay, because the table is meant to be messed up. It's literally a half of a log. Anyway, all we gotta do now is bolt it down to the table. Then by hand. Sounds pretty damn solid to me. Got my second one all prepped and ready. Let me drill some holes and weld it up. Been a few days and I ordered these bad boys online. They are bearings and they've been in my room for quite a bit because I haven't had much time to do all this stuff since, you know, school started and all that. However, these currently are hardened and the drill bit is not going to like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to light the forge and I'm going to soften these up on the bottom a bit so then I can weld them to a nice solid steel bar. And then I'm actually going to forge a steel bar so I can wedge it inside of the bench. That way these are going to be nice and stationary. These were not cheap. The biggest one there cost 50 bucks and total everything costed around 90. So this is definitely quite a bit of an investment.
1,000-degree ball videos. That kind of reminds me of that. Pretty cool. Let's let it cool. If I take it out, I make it a nice little neck here, extending this part. This is what's going into the wood here.
Now I know I'm switching around quite a bit here, but basically I'm working on the T-stake anvil already. I already tempered all of the bearings so that they can be welded on and they're soft enough for them to not explode when you hit them with a hammer. And so I have my brother here who's going to help me forge this giant piece of steel.
But basically, let's do this. Let's do it on this one. Nice. Let's do it. One bit. Oh, shit. That part was super soft. Jesus. Not bad. No, you're good, you're good. So, it has been a very long day. I got another one of these forged out, so these are all complete. I got some of the sides flattened on the ball here, and I got this side ready to weld. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach one of these to here, and I'm going to weld it up really deeply. We need this thing to be very secure because I'm going to be hitting it with a hammer. So, let's start the welding process. Alright, so we're starting off with one of the smaller ones. Starting off with the smaller one, we got this here. I'm welding outside today because there's going to be a lot of welding involved and I want to preserve my lungs. So, let's get it hot and ready.
Here I am switching back to the T-steak. I'm just cutting in half and getting it ready to weld.
Alright, so I have my T-steak all readied up here, but looks like I got a cloud of rain coming this way. I'll see how much I can do before I have to take cover and get out of here. So, I have these done, and this one. That one's still hot. So, I got these four very nice tools done, and what I'm going to do is, I'm going to heat the ends of these balls. I'm going to heat the end of the tool here. I'm going to drill a hole, and then burn it nice and deep inside of the bench. I'm going to do the same thing for this one, this big old T-steak here as well, except I'm going to cut it down a little bit more, or at least trim it. Actually, I'm pretty sure that'll be just fine. I'm lazy. I don't need to do all that. So, without further ado, let's get marked up where we want these to be. Let's put this to the side. Thinking this one gonna be nice in a row on the edge, so we get nice maneuverability and put a good distance in between all of them. Seems pretty fair to me. Alright, let's see what I got for drill bits. Three spots. I think that'll do. Oh shit. Shit. Okay. Jesus. Alright, that's in there pretty well. Here we go.
And there you have it. We got some very basic armor working tools that we can use to finally make some good freaking armor. So, what can we do here? As of right now, our options are a little limited. We have our dishing stuff right here. This is our dishing area. We can form helmets or elbows or other kinds of things that need to be dished with this set of tools. If we need something rounded up top, or we have a rounded object that needs to be smoothened, we can use one of our three very nice, what are these called? I guess these are rounding tools. We use those. And if we have something very specific, very precise that we need to hammer, we have our T-stake anvil here that is going to help us out a lot. So we have three different kinds of tool here, and we have our big anvil. Of course, there are many different other kinds of tools that I still haven't created yet, but I'll make a separate video for those in the future. This took a lot of work. So please, if you have the time to do it, subscribe. My name is Nikolai Vasilyevich. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another time. Goodbye.